What?
I will and I have.
No, start recording.
He has.
Oh.
Dickhead.
Right. Okay. That's fine. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not asking you. Okay, good. Lovely. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, homosexuals at home and transsexuals out gallivanting, foreigners and Irish people alike, let's get ready to watch Wrestless! Howdy, folks. This is your SmackDown SmackyD review of the past week. I don't know what the date is. I think it was on the 3rd of January 2025, the first SmackDown of the new year, the one that was on YouTube to all of our pleasure. We were very happy about that. There was no lags, no cuts in the stream. And today I am hosting my name is Sean Maroney. This is my first time hosting one of these shows. I'm taking it very seriously. With that, I'm going to be in control of all the segments today. I'm going to be doing the play-by-play and just going through the show with yourself and asking these two boys instead for their opinions for once instead of just being ignored. With that, we're going to get into our opening segment this week, which is, as usual, what do you want to talk about? Jeff, what do you want to talk about this week?
Oh, mate, thank you. What a lovely question to be posed. He asked me this about 5 minutes before recording. I said, I've got fuck all, I'll be honest. But what I'm going to talk about is not going to be maybe as entertaining, wacky, zany as Maroney's normally are. Just like to talk about the immigration crisis in Ireland. People are leaving. One of them being my sister. And for one, I can't wait because I'm going to turn her room into a gorgeous one. And it's going to be lovely. But no, she's heading off across the world to the other side. It's going to be good for her. We went out to our surname named pub that my dad's auntie used to own for a couple of drinks to celebrate her leaving. Cooney's pub in Carclough.
It's not racially changed.
Yeah. No, not at all. But yeah, it was really nice. We went there for a couple of drinks in our old grand auntie's pub. It's now owned by a lad who my mother babysat, which is a fun little other connection on the other side. It's good stuff. Yeah. She's buzzing. She's gonna go out there, make a load of money, and I'm gonna stay here and rob the entirety of her room. And it's gonna be a lovely time for both of us. And that's a brief what I want to talk about, Maroney. I'll pass it back to yourself, and you delegate where you need to, my friend.
Right, okay, that's no problem. Kerwin looks like he's not finished eating, as usual. So I'm going to take it from here for a quick moment.
Okay, go.
So what I want to talk about this week is I really thought about this because I'm running out of stories and nothing interesting's happened in the past week since the Raw review. So what I'm going to talk about is a fun little fact that I discovered not too long ago from a friend of mine that works in Slane Castle. She works as housekeeper. She's a lovely lady. But what I learned recently is, Slane Castle, for those who aren't aware, has a sort of concert that happens once a year. It's a big thing. They get celebrities from all over the world, usually the biggest acts, people like Eminem from Guns N' Roses to have performed there. But today we're going to be talking about a member from Queen. In case you aren't aware, Queen also performed at Slane Festival, and when they did, Freddie Mercury himself actually stayed in Slane Castle. Now the room that Freddie Mercury stayed in has since been closed since he stayed in it. Reasons as to why is because the entire room itself has a carpet floor, including the bathroom. A bit strange, I'm aware. And they're not able to get the cocaine that he used that night out of the carpet. So I got bestowed with this knowledge, and I want to bestow it onto you. So with that, I'm going to go on. Kerwin, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think I will just talk
about...
It
doesn't matter what you want to talk about! You're not talking about New Japan or Wrestle Kingdom or Noah or AEW. It's not getting the fucking time of day. Some of us have to go to work, and I'm hosting this show for once.
All I'm just saying is about the local weather because it's interesting. basically there was a big deep freeze around the country last night. It's happened in all of our towns. The shops are getting strip mined. I was just there before I got my food. That is what I want to talk about. It's like rapidly going because this country panics every time anything mildly out of the ordinary happens.
He says as he was burying his face in the breakfast rolls.
Chicken roll, actually.
Lovely.
Oh, touche.
Now, with that, folks, I've got a little surprise for this podcast. For the first time ever, I have done something that has never been done on this. Never thought it could be achieved. Quite frankly, we had given up hope on it. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got a special guest for this evening.
Oh.
2 moments.
We can cut
It's
it
hard.
in post.
Yeah. Do I need to add another fucking window on this recording?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my god. Okay.
There's
I
a
thought-
special guest. Hey!
ladies and gentlemen, Luke, the
Hello
new
there.
Littler.
Yeah!
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Fresh off his darts win.
No, I'm leaving now. Just because call me Luke the Nuke. No, I'm leaving.
Hold on. Just let me, I will briefly pause so I can orient and we can get a proper introduction.
Go
Now, go back on.
fucking record.
It
Because-
is.
Good. This gentleman here, we've been trying to drag onto this podcast for so long, but for many reasons, many of them half-arsed, we couldn't be able to. I'm convinced that Luke just doesn't like us, but we have him on for 5 minutes. Kerwin's nearly butchered the entire fucking thing with his production. Can't believe it. He's still burying his face in that fucking chicken roll. Cheeky little cunt. But Luke,
Luke
as
talk.
promised,
Yeah.
you're designated 5 minutes. What would you like to talk about?
Well, lads, I think it's about time I brought a controversial question back.
Oh,
I
lovely.
love these. These
Well,
are great.
now I'll admit, this is not very controversial compared to other stuff, but it is an interesting question.
Okay.
Shoot, brother.
This is in Gar Wrestling. I know I was told I can get another 5 minutes or whatever, like to talk about whatever, but I'll focus on the wrestling. What do we think about the longer championship reigns? Do we think that they should be shortened again to get a bit of variety? Now, I'm not saying like too short, but
I miss my hot potatoes. I do.
Me too, sir.
I think
Like,
there needs to just be like a balance, like have it of decent length but not too long, you know.
I think
Not
the best
first
reign
time
of the year was
shows
Drew
are-
McIntyre's.
Yeah.
Honestly, I know was though, right? I mean, I
Triggered
love
the
the
best
short
reign.
reigns. I think you
No.
can do it really intelligently. You know, like you can, as Brody mentioned, a hot potato. You can hot potato belts between two equally good professional wrestlers, and it doesn't cheapen the belt. And I think that'd be a lot.
yeah, I agree. Like,
Uh,
because I think the longer championship reigns now are kind of getting, I don't want to say stale, but it's kind of like they're starting to get kind of predictable. It's like you kind of understand what's happening now. It's like they're not, because like even the last few weeks we've been talking about, it's like, oh, they're not going to lose this at this pay-per-view. They're not going to lose this at this pay-per-view.
Mm.
It's like we can somewhat accurately guess how the matches are going to turn out and all.
There is an irony in this question, considering the events of SmackDown last night, but we'll get into that later. But
Yeah, congrats to Tiffany Stratton.
yes,
Mm.
it's Steffi time. Why do you acknowledge her?
Finally, it's Tiffy time.
Yeah.
I'll acknowledge my tribal chief, Tiffany Stratton.
Do you have a non-wrestling story that you'd like to talk about today? Or
No, sorry. No, you see, I'm a very boring bastard. That's the thing. It's like the most interesting thing is that I finally ordered a mic for this podcast.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
expect
I
Luke
will-
to give us much better excuses in future for why he can't be on.
Hey,
So
I'm
much
in
like-
education, all right. I can't I'll try next time when I bring the laptop down. Because like
Okay.
at the moment, my only way through this is the PlayStation. So that's how I'm speaking to you right now. But once I get the mic, I can do it in Waterford.
Right.
Lovely. We look forward to it. Right, look, I want to thank you for your time. I'll leave you be now. It was a pleasure having you on for the first time ever. I just want the viewers to know that when they write the history books, I was the person that achieved this. But have a good day.
Can I just add, to be fair, no one asked me until Maroney.
Boys, what the fuck is up with
there was multiple asks in the group chat. I've got receipt. Hold on. Sorry.
No, you don't, Sam.
You don't have to.
Anyway, I'll leave with this. Solo, I love you. All right, see you later.
See you.
He's
Bye.
perfect. He's done the bit. He's perfect.
Enjoy.
And there you went. Just fucked up again.
God fucking damn it, Kerwin.
That's just
This
how
is
the
why you don't
recording
bring
works.
surprises.
You said at the start you weren't doing the fucking window thing.
Do you want it done or do you want it done well?
Oh my fuck! I want to get it done before I have to go to work.
Yeah,
When do you
just
work?
keep talking.
I have to get a bus at the very, very latest 2:15.
All right.
No, we got an hour. We're good.
Yeah, we've an hour to talk about a 3-hour show.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, we
running
can
this
do
shit,
that.
brother.
Right. Fucking Kerwin, let me know when I'm fucking gorgeous again.
Well, that'll be a while.
Uh,
You might need to go to Turkey first.
Fuck you, you bald-faced, splat-chin bastard.
hold on. You'll be golden in about
Mhm.
5,
4,
4,
That was better.
3, 2, and 1.
It's clobbering time. Right. So folks, finally, let's get into SmackyD. Aaron from the Footprint Arena, Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, I bet you bastards didn't think I'd fucking note that down. I did.
I had it noted just in case.
Yeah, I'm a professional. The show opens with a Cody Kevin Owens package, catching us up over the last couple of weeks. Cody comes out to start the show. Again, no selling the pile driver or the last week's attack on his neck, making Randy Orton look like a pussy. He signs a child's Funko in the crowd so he can sell it on eBay because he doesn't have a real job. Cody doesn't ask the crowd what they want to talk about this week because he, selfishly, wants to talk about how WWE is changing with the return of 3-hour SmackDown as well as Raw on Netflix. Cody states he's not cleared to wrestle, which garnered big boos from the crowd. Drew McIntyre comes out to interrupt Cody. Commentary reference it being due to a transfer window being in place. It doesn't matter. Triple H is shit at booking drafts anyways. Drew proceeds to hug Cody.
Oh.
I know. A bit gay. But Drew says he's not here to hurt Cody. He's here to help. Drew states that Cody is not on his list, which makes Maroney's earlier prediction wrong. A bit upset by Drew proceeds to beg him not to fuck up, as we're in the greatest era of wrestling, the greatest generation of wrestlers, and Cody is the quarterback. Drew calls Owens a fake replica wearing champion as being billed as the real thing. Cody cuts Drew off for them to start truth-telling to one another. It comes off a bit flirtatious. Cody doesn't believe Drew and says he feels the tension. Just fuck already. Cody wants it. Drew emphasizes he's here to help, and as he warns Cody to finally watch his back as he turns away, Kevin Owens blindsides him. The segment is then proceeded to be ruined by 20 skinny men.
Yay.
Folks, what do we think about our opening segment for SmackDown? Kerwin didn't watch it, I know. Jeff?
Oh, I thought it was lovely. I thought it was delightful. I think Cody Kevin has been a lot of fun. I think it's been the best Cody's felt as a champion since he won the belt. You know, the most important part, like the bloodline bollocks. I think Drew coming out, and obviously they're similar paths in terms of leaving, building themselves up, coming back as completely different individuals, and going to the top of the card, you know, finishing their stories, as Cody put it. I think it's a really nice parallel on like the two ways they can go. I also think the 20 skinny men should go die in an eternal pit of hell and fire. That'd be great. And I like Kevin Owens coming in and beating the shit out of Cody. But yeah, all in all, a lovely outstart off the segment. The SmackDown. It's good. Good stuff.
Over. Kerwin, how was your chicken roll?
It was good.
Lovely. Do you have any thoughts about the opening segment?
Yes, I have actually seen the segment.
Did you watch
I
the
thought
opening
it was
segment?
good. Yes, I like Drew's acting. He's very clearly invested in making sure Cody doesn't fuck up because, you know, metatextually, it's correct. Cody needs to succeed for everyone else to get a chance. So I just hope that if they do plan on spinning off into a Cody Drew feud after this, they keep up this energy, because it is very engrossing to watch from the little snapshot we saw.
Yeah, it's reminiscent on like the Seth stuff where he was like, Seth, don't be doing that match at Mania. I'm gonna beat you. You know, it was a nice little.
And he did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty convincingly.
Well, boys, I have a follow-up question to our opening segment, because we won't spend too much time talking about it, but between the opening segment and the next matchup, we had a little backstage preview of the New Bloodline walking in, Bianca and Naomi walking in, strolling their suitcases, as well as, who was the last person? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. They're probably forgetful anyways. My question to you, no, it wasn't Apollo Crews, but he does get mentioned in the show later. My question to you boys is, do we think these shots of superstars entering the arena, throwing their bags, are shoot or works?
Ooh,
good question.
That's a very good question.
I'm just going to say works, just because of the way the camera lingers on them. Seems a bit too fake, if you know what I mean.
It's a bit strange that a lot of the production is just used on, right, boys, walk your bags. But, you know, here we are. That's the modern day of wrestling. They have to make sure they wrestle as little as possible. But
they have to establish to the audience that the wrestlers that they know are on the show are, in fact, in the building. Yeah.
Yay. But anyways, following up from that, we're going into our first matchup of the night of Shinsuke Nakamura, to which received no pop whatsoever, versus Andrade, who received a very, very tiny pop. As the entrances end, it cuts to that immediately.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
It is. You'll find that there's a lot of ads on this show. It becomes a note in the show. But it is what it is. This match, when it came back from ad break, made me realize that the mat is now blue. I'm not, mad at it. I quite enjoy changing presentation. I wonder if the Raw won't be red or if they're going to stick to white. But it's blue now, just in case anyone didn't notice. I noticed it during this match. That's my thoughts on this match. The match returns back from break, fast pace. Andrade slapping himself because he's a horny fucker. And that's where my notes end on the fucking little notepad. So we're going to go to our teleprompter now, and we're going to get rid of the championship. Now, the notes aren't as fluid on this. I do apologize. This is very much like the first take of it, so we'll try and read it as naturally as possible. So, Andrade starts slapping himself, the horny fucker, just to receive a swift kick in the jaw from Nakamura. The lads start slapping and pulling each other until Nakamura does a diving knee to make things all the more kinky. Nakamura exposes the turnbuckle like he did when he won back in November against Andrade. However, gets wellied into the turnbuckle because he didn't look left or right before doing so. Andrade does a backflip into a backflip and gets a near fall. Andrade does a spinning elbow for another near fall, goes back to slapping Shinners, attempts a superplex, gets his noggin dragged into the top rope, top of the ring post. Shinsuke makes an old-fashioned KSI rape face before kicking Andrade in the noggin and winning. LA Knight enters the scene and clotheslines the knackered Mora, misses the BFT, grabs a mix and starts saying, yeah, over and over, like he's actually fucking.
Yeah.
Ace is going round and coming around. He's a slut. Guys, what do we think of the opening matchup?
It's pretty good. Just you know what you're getting out of these guys. These guys have been wrestling against each other for a very long time, even before either were in WWE. So they do know each other inside and out. But I just think there wasn't a lot of heat. People do not seem invested in this new Nakamura character, and it very much feels like they gave him the title just so he could do that show in Japan. They're not getting a lot of investment, and clearly they're just going to put the belt back on Knight relatively soon. So, good TV match, but not a lot of heat.
I like the character to bring out Knight. But Charlotte, what is your thoughts?
I think this match could be summed up in two very synonymous words with the podcast. No pop. No pop for anybody in this match. Nakamura, as David said, pop. That character, it's not getting over. Andrade's always struggled to get. I'm sick of seeing them have matches. I feel like even if they haven't, it feels like they've wrestled each other like times at this point. There was some nice stuff, obviously. I really liked that back elbow. I genuinely thought it was a 3. I genuinely thought the ref hit 3. It was a really good near fall. I liked the DDT on the post. I think that was cool. But apart from that, and LA Knight coming out, there's really nothing. But hopefully Knight gets the belt back and they do something a bit more interesting with him on a second run. Hopefully, it was grand. It was a very mediocre start, I think, to the action.
Well, I don't care. So moving on, we've got a backstage segment next. Apollo Crews shows up. I forgot he was still contracted. With Pretty Deadly.
Yes, boy.
With that, they have a little confrontation about liars and Stitches getting stitches, or snitches getting stitches. Legado Phantasmo confront Pretty Deadly as they talk about this. This is when Maroney learned that the LWO is now actually 2 factions. 20 skinny men.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry,
the boys proceed to brawl, and 20 skinny men put an end to the segment. Nick Aldis asks one of Pretty Deadly to stay as the segment cuts to ad. As we come back from the ad break, Nick is interrogating both of the boys. So why he asked one of them to stay is beyond me. Claiming them and DIY are on thin ice. Nick Aldis leaves this segment as DIY enter, and DIY thinks Pretty Deadly are trying to get a spot in line for the championship. Makes sense, but they got a match tonight first against the Motor City Machine Guns, but they emphasized who Pretty Deadly. They got to win. The segment closes as the next matchup starts. Do we have any opinions on this segment, boys? Or do we think, someone's got an opinion? Why do you have an opinion? This segment was a fucking nothing segment. What?
It was a nothing segment. There's literally just... I thought it was pretty funny that DIY asked why Nick believes Apollo stooge over Pretty Deadly, and Nick then said, because my eyes are connected to my brain. That is my only segment. I thought that was very funny. Well done, Nick. And also... DIY are kind of funny as heel. So, well done. Good job, Triple H.
All I'll say is just it's nice seeing Pretty Deadly on TV.
True, yes, boy.
Okay. Well, Jeff, your opinion's wrong. Spoken to. Now, we're getting into the next matchup, which is, I'll be honest with you boys, a nothing matchup. But it is on the card, unfortunately. So it's Mitchum versus Piper Niven. Mitchum comes out to absolutely no pop, and Chelsea comes out to an all right pop. But unfortunately, it is still Piper Niven wrestling tonight. Michael Cole is a generational hater, reminding folks that Chelsea is Canadian. Might as well just turn heel now. Graves wants to be a minister of propaganda, apparently, and commit some war crimes. I can get behind it. The match cuts into ad break quickly, and upon coming back, nothing interesting is happening except Mitchum twerking. Twerking at Chelsea Green when she had the advantage. Piper took over with an open driver afterwards. However, Mitchum wins with an defeat. This is when I've learned Mitchum's finisher. It's not that impressive. No wonder she is where she is on the
call it
card.
soul food. It's the same pun. Yeah.
It's a bad move regardless.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Shout out
But-
Chucky T. Yeah.
But upon Mitchum winning the match, Michael Cole suggests that Chelsea Green and Mitchum should compete for the United States Championship, the Women's United States Championship, in a dumpster match. I agree with Corey Graves. He should be deported. Now, we got through that nothing match quite quickly. I didn't enjoy it. It was very boring. I've noticed a lot of trick match that Piper Niven falls very weirdly. Like she does. Like a lot of people kind of do it style and grace, and they kind of get in the position that they need to. Piper Niven kind of falls in the way that you jump into bed fucking after a long day of work. But boys, do we have any thoughts on this matchup? Jeff has a thought. What is your thought?
Yay. My thoughts, match was meh, but the commentary was great. They actually have a bit of life and character in this. Like Chelsea brings out the best in them. I thought Corey playing the whole like suck up to the heel shtick was really, really nice. He's always been good at it. I thought Michael Cole becoming a generational hater. Some would say he rivals the hate that Montreal has for Shawn Michaels. Some would even say that he rivals the hate that Bret Hart has for Bill Goldberg. I would say he rivals the hate that David Kerwood has for the WWE product as a whole.
I just as a brief aside, I do not hate the WWE products. I play that up.
You've got receipts, brother.
Okay.
You do. We have them in private. You don't want us leaking the screenshots. If the group chat ever gets leaked, Kerwood, you're done.
You're also done.
I've done nothing wrong, boy.
Free my man as he ain't do
Yes,
nothing.
boy. Okay.
Right, boys. Kerwood, do you have a thought?
No, just to echo what Jeff said, great heel commentary. Chelsea should be doing more now that she's a champion.
I wasn't expecting you to have a thought. It is a WWE product, I suppose.
Curse you, Jeff. Curse you.
So, moving on, boys. We cut to a quick little backstage segment of Paul Heyman avoiding a metal detector. Clearly, he thinks Tommy Dreamer is in the building.
Big top.
Yes.
Afterwards, we get a little Naomi package, 3 out of 10 in my opinion, followed up by an advertised Naomi versus Nia Jax championship match. Watch her win, but still get no championship.
We all know where that goes.
Oh well. So afterwards, after the ad break, we get a little Paul Heyman promo. Says he's setting the record straight. Says he and Roman prepped and trained Solo to be the future, to be the tribal chief when Roman Reigns is ready to step down. But at WrestleMania 40, Solo seized the opportunity when Roman lost the WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes. He seized the opportunity. He stole the Ula Fala and got rid of Roman's cronies, formed a band of quote-unquote filthy animals, because Paul Heyman's a racist, as he proceeds to bring up their criminal records and promises Roman Reigns will win on Monday. Solo proceeds to come out alone as Heyman finishes up. They stare awkwardly into each other's eyes. Paul admits he has a piss fetish, then proceeds to remind us... What?
No, it's true. I think it's funny.
Paul admits he has a piss fetish, then proceeds to remind us that he got put through a table and is scared it'll happen again. At this point, the crowd yeets randomly. I'm not too sure why. There's no Usos in the segment. They just started yeeting. You can watch the footage back. But Solo brings up Punk's favor and offers to Heyman a favor. He asks him to hold the Ula Fala during their match on Monday. And he begs, if Roman wins, Paul will bestow the Ula Fala onto Roman. But if Solo wins, Paul Heyman, because he loves and has nothing but respect for the Anoa'i family, will bestow it onto Solo. And with that, when Paul bestows the Ula Fala onto Solo, when he wins, Solo Sikoa will then own Paul Heyman Paul Heyman leaves the ring and proceeds to look up. Custody of Paul Heyman ladder match confirmed.
Beautiful.
Boys, what do we think?
Like, it's a Paul Heyman promo. It's always going to be a bit of fun, you know. I like how he reiterated the bloodline, new bloodline, are like horrible people. They're not welcome in the state, and Fatu wasn't welcome outside the US prison system. I think it was funny. That was a good little nod to his incarceration, obviously. I like that he sold how he's still terrified of Solo, because he kind of should be. I mean, Paul Heyman don't take bumps for nobody, and he took a big one for him. So saying that he was 10 seconds away from pissing himself was gas. It was good stuff. I think Solo performed very well in this as the serious side of him. I think Solo's got it's insane how good he's gotten in the last year or so. Like a couple of months ago, people were like, "Oh, people are looking past Solo because Jacob Fatu is there," and understandably so. But Solo switched up his character, and it's really worked for him. Good stuff. Looking forward to the tribal combat match on Monday. It should be a lot of fun.
Lovely. Kerwin, do you have a thought, or are you just going to echo Jess' opinion again?
No, I'm just going to say is Paulie is money. All I'm just going to say is Paulie is in Paulie dangerously is money. Paul Heyman.
Fair enough. That's no problem. This segment, though, does lead me to my second question of the night, which I want to discuss a little bit. Why, judging by, because this is the only time we see Paul Heyman on the show, why was he so adamant on avoiding that metal detector?
Yeah, good question. Very good question.
He was packing heat, he was, just in case Jacob Fatu came out.
Yeah, I reckon he had a shiv down his jocks and he was just waiting to use it.
Can't believe it. They caught it on camera and all. They just went, fuck it, he's in the building anyway.
yeah, where were the 20 skinny men, huh?
Exactly. Fuck
You're too
me.
busy, huh?
I'd love to see the 20 skinny men try to fucking bloodline. Fucking, that'd be great. But anyways, we move on to our... About time. They'll have to hire a whole bunch of new skinny men.
Oh no.
Besides the point, we move on to our next little package promo. It is for the Motor City Machine Guns, and they cannot cut one, if I'm honest. It was a 1 out of 10. They called out Tommaso Ciampa, and they pronounced his name very oddly every time they did. They talked about their brief history with Gargano. But yeah, the next matchup is Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. I don't know if this is correct, but I'm going to say it anyways because it's my first time noticing it. New music and theme for DIY, new presentation. It's better than what it was. I wasn't a fan of that. We are DIY. So the Tron I didn't mind, but fucking at the same time it was very polarizing. They got rid of Ciampa's logo, which sucks, but here it is. Saturday. It cuts to a promo during the entrance of a Saturday night main event returning. And this advertisement featured the one, the only, the racist, brother of David Kerwin, Hulk Hogan. And then it cuts to ads. Upon returning, Motor City Machine Gun makes their entrance. I've noticed they have got a great presentation, but they are absolute midgets. The match starts off...
All right, Kevin Nash.
The match starts off with some nice quick action. Motor City Machine Guns taking control in the first bit of the match with Suicide Dive before a commercial break. As you can tell, there's a lot of those. I feel suicidal with the amount of commercial breaks. It did make the notes, I told you. Coming back from break, the match is evenly fought until a dropkick leads to a double tag. Gargano versus Midget number 2 speed things up just for DIY to lose control quickly. However, Gargano thinks he can take on the two at once. He's a smart boy. But the boy gets super kicked, resulting in Ciampa breaking the pin and trading slugs. 3 to 4 boys proceed to get super kicked. HBK wept. Ciampa gets tagged in and starts chopping. Gets chopped and absolutely molested until DIY comes out and start dancing. Until Pretty Deadly come out and start dancing. LWO chases them away. and DIY get STF'd until the outside scrap interferes with the submission, resulting in a DQ finish. A match ruined by starring 8 skinny men in it. Absolute bollocks. Boys, do we have any thoughts on this little matchup? Did we enjoy it? Did we not enjoy it? Did we enjoy the finish? Did we not enjoy the finish? What's happening here?
I think it's like every DIY or machine guns match we've seen where the crowd don't give a shit, and then halfway through they kind of give a shit because they're like, decently talented in the ring, and then it gets ruined by a DQ. It's your classic Paul Levesque booking of a match on a weekly show. I would like to say the new presentation DIY at Tron reminds me, if you've ever watched the channel Kicks when you were a child, it's the exact fucking same scheme. Really reminded me of that. Also, yes, I do agree that machine guns cannot cut a promo, and that's unfortunate. And also, they are a bit small, which reminds me of when Ciampa was ruined for me when he wrestled The Miz, and it was half the height. So, all in all, fine.
If either then becomes a world champion, I'm going to pursue Dara to join wrestling. Kerwin, do we have any thoughts on the match? Please do not start dick riding the motorcycle machine guns.
No, I'm just going to say the SmackDown tag division and the Raw tag division as well, but even then they at least get some wins on their show. Just like the SmackDown tag division in shambles it has been ever since, I want to say, before Mania. Long before Mania.
I think across the board, the tag team division, whether you're talking WWE, AEW, wherever, it's shit for the last year. To be fair.
It's really unfortunate, but this is the way the world of wrestling is nowadays. Now, with that, boys, we're going to go and move the fuck along. With that, we go to a backstage segment with Nia Jax and Mrs. Gargano. However, I did not hear what they said because Jeff decided to join the call at 2:30 a.m. in the morning. It cut to ad very quickly. Jeff said and insisted that I'd have to go back and watch this promo to hear what they were chatting about. I did not. Coming back from ad break, Sami Zayn and Carmelo have a little chat backstage, bickering on who was losing more in their match last week before it was interrupted by Braun Strowman. Personally, one's black and one's ginger. I side with Melo and that Sami was losing. The Usos show up because Sami can't fight for himself. The segment proceeds to move on as the Usos then bump into Kevin Owens. He then proceeds to tell them they also have to watch their backs. Bring us back to what the show was opening with Drew McIntyre earlier in the, well, I was going to say week, but it was the same day. It doesn't matter. With that, the segment moves on to another backstage segment. So if we want to talk about this backstage segment now, boys, raise your hands, or we can talk about the two backstage segments simultaneously once we get through this. Which would you rather?
Yeah, simultaneous. Run through, brother.
Yeah.
Right. So we've got another backstage segment then following with Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes. They give each other positive affirmations like a cute little gay couple. And Nick begs him to look after himself. Cody tells Nick he loves him as he stares into his eyes. But he wants to scrap because he's on the roids. Boys, what do we think of these segments?
I thought Sami Zayn segment, it was meh. The best part about it was the little Kevin Owens earlier on night where he said they need to watch it back, and there was those both immediately behind them, which I thought was nice. It's a little, it's cyclical. It's a nice little, Drew McIntyre might beat the fuck out of you boys. Keep an eye out. And then the Cody and Aldis thing backstage. I think Aldis is always good in terms of presentation as a general manager authority figure. I think Cody is, again, the most interesting he's been in a while. I like that they're going back and forth with him and showing that he's like throughout the show, Aldis that is, in terms of like trying to keep everything together and doing the damn sight better than Pierce. But yeah, two solid, like, serviceable segments. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing amazing, but nothing terrible either.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Kerwin, your thoughts?
I thought the segments were both pretty fine. Aldis could do without the dick riding Cody, but hype up your world champion, you do what you gotta do.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, perfectly fine segments, nothing really notable.
Did it do what it needed to do, Kerwin? Did it?
That is the most important question.
Did it? Was it serviceable?
Yes.
Was it? Say it with your chest. Look me in the eye.
Did
Stop
what
looking
it
at that
needed
fucking.
to do.
Did it?
Did what it needed to do.
Did it? Anyways, returning back to the show, we're going to move on swiftly to the next match. This is the match to which has left us all skeptical throughout the advertisement of the show because, well, we've been told this one before and it was a lie. However,
dirty lie.
The result of this seemingly different. I would say got the biggest reaction out of a lot of us in the group chat last night when we watched it live. And it was Naomi versus Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship. Surprisingly, Naomi has come out for the biggest women's pop of the show so far. It cut to ad almost immediately. But when the match comes back, it starts off slow, fairly even back and forth. Nia takes advantage before another ad break. Jeff decides to dip. Because in his words, he can't support someone like Naomi becoming champion because he's a racist.
Whoa! You were the one all over Naomi last night. You're like, good. She's great. I don't like her. All of this terrible nonsense. Don't you point the finger at me, sir, just because you have the golden microphone for this episode.
I just said she can't cut a promo. I don't know what you're on about. But yeah, Jeff's racist. Moving.
So are you.
Okay, let's just move on.
Jeff, I live in a house full of foreigners. How can I be racist? Anyways,
your enemy's closer.
Coming back from the ad, Naomi seems to have a fighting chance for a second. She gets dropped and starts getting shoved around. Nia puts Naomi in a chokehold after a 2 count. Naomi almost breaks the hold but gets fucked into the ring post and a smack full of ass. As Naomi starts coming back with a leg drop, I realised Doudrop and Nia Jax should try and do a tsunami. Nia proceeds to rugby tackle a ring post for whatever reason. Naomi suicide dives and hits Nia with a double axe handle, enziguri, and Samoan drop. It was a great little combination of moves. I enjoyed it. They looked really fluid in the ring. It resulted in a 2 count. Naomi gets propped upside down in the corner and gets ass rammed by Nia Jax. Nia does a second rope leg drop. However, the tides turn quickly as Naomi does a tornado DDT. Please just end this match. I don't care who wins anymore. Never mind a cut to ad again. As you can tell, folks, this was a very first take draft of my notes last night. I did have these feelings. I was very tired, but here we are. Back from ad, and we're into the final hour of SmackDown now. Nia did a second rope Samoan drop during the break. Naomi gets a close near fall and puts Nia into a submission. Miss Gargano tries to bollocks things up because she's a racist, but Bianca said it's on site and starts scrapping her. Nia breaks out of the submission and squares her. The women tumble off the turnbuckle as a counter. It was a botch, but Tiffy comes out and fakes a cash-in. And as the referee is looking away, as Miss Gargano tries to interfere, Naomi gets clattered in the head with Tiffany's briefcase, causing Nia Jax to win the match. Boys, what did we think of the match?
Decent match. Very fun. I've seen it before, but, good.
At least, I suppose, if you're going to advertise it, you give it the right winner if you're not going to crown the champion. But, I suppose that's the only thing I can say about it. It's an improvement from the last time Nia Jax and Naomi had a WWE Women's Championship match. But that's not the point of this segment, though.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Man who's been overlooked before. And as soon as he gets in the hot seat, what does he do?
Jeff,
overlooked again.
We got like 15 minutes. You gotta hurry.
Son of a bitch. Yeah. Okay. No, I just like to mention a couple of things. I thought Naomi hitting the heat seeker on her was nice. I also thought that Naomi's position for the double stomp was pretty cool. Naomi's really, really good. She should have won. She didn't. but more important matters. Maroney, take it away, sir.
Yeah, exactly. I've got work to do. Fucking, you can wait a fucking minute. I've been overlooking this podcast so many fucking times by shitface Kerwin and yourself especially. So I can do it at least
Me?
the fucking once when I'm hosting.
Oh, never
Okay,
will.
this is my show,
Bitch.
my show, my show,
Bitch.
my show. I'm the champion.
Bitch.
But following the match, Nia Jax proceeds to scrap with Bianca, and afterwards, Tiffany turns on both Nia and Miss Gargano. Tiffany is cashing in. Holy fuck, she's cashing in. She won. Tiffany is your new WWE Women's Champion. What the fuck? I was not
Yeah.
expecting this on the show.
Yes, boy.
I thought this was just going to be a boring thing. This woke me the fuck up, boys. I popped massively. I was very happy. It went to ad break almost immediately. I proceeded to have a wank during the ad break and text the boys. Boys, what did you think of this little closing segment after the match? And what do you think of Tiffany Stratton being your new WWE Women's Champion?
I'm very
Fucking
happy.
finally. Fucking finally. Oh my god, give her the world. She's fantastic. She's been grinding her arse off. She's perfect. She is the best one in that division. She is the best one, whether it's on the mic, whether it's character work, whether it's in the ring,
Even on
the
commentary.
whole fucking package. Nobody can touch her. She's amazing. Can't wait to see what she does with the belt. I think it's going to be fan-bloody-tastic.
Well, you took most of the words out of my mouth, so all I'll say is I'm very happy. I would very much looking forward to seeing what she can do at the top of the division, and this definitely makes the whole division feel a lot fresher.
Congratulations, Tiffany Stratton. We're all very proud of you as three veterans of the ring. Now, moving on to a Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa promo package for this Monday night. It was all right. I honestly was too hyped about Tiffany Stratton winning the championship. I didn't want it. Now, moving on to our last match of the evening. It is the New Bloodline versus the Old Bloodline minus Roman Reigns. 6-man tag match. As the New Bloodline comes out for their entrance, Jacob Fatu cuts the promo of his life. Such a passionate homosexual. I love it. I'll let the boys do it.
Oh, can I do it?
You can do it.
Yes. I love you, Solo. The first thing I realized when I opened up my eyes is I love you, Solo. When you beat Roman Reigns on Monday, 1, 2, 3, everyone will acknowledge Solo. I love that man. He's amazing.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And as he finishes, it cuts to ad. After the ad break, we find out Raw will be getting a post show because nobody asked for that. But here we are.
That's good for you,
LA
brother.
It is, yeah. We cut to a little backstage promo involving LA Knight, and he explains that he's been blindsiding Nakamura the same way that Nakamura did to him when he was champion, until he gets what he wants. And that's exactly what's happened. Next week, he's got his championship match. Says he's going to slap everybody back to factory satin, and yes, before leaving. Cutting back to the actual match, the main event, the OG Bloodline do a Jey Uso crowd entrance, yeeting away with the crowd. Sami Uso is the official billing for the night, still better than the Rated R superstar Cope. Had to get it in. The match starts like a tornado tag, because I don't believe they were told what the actual match was. The OG Bloodline quickly shoved the New Bloodline out of the ring into an ad break. Who would have guessed? Coming back from ad, it looks like... Oh, I got a notification. Anyway, coming back from ad, it looks like Charles Robinson broke it to the boys that it's actually a tag team match, because that's the structure of the match going forward, which starts with Jay and Tama. Tag to Sammy, then to Big Jim, Slim Jim. Solo gets his greasy hands on him. Jimmy hits Solo with a stunner to break a submission. Tags Sammy for him to run ropes and deliver cushion clotheslines. Third one drops Solo. I see how Breaker won so easily now. Solo regains... Solo regains control of the match for the ads to kick in. Oh, fuck. So, coming back from ad, Solo Samoan drops Sami as the program returns. Maroney is feeling defeated. 3-hour wrestling shows are not easy to get through. There's 10 minutes left. We can only accept shenanigans. Thomas gives slugs to the Ginger before Jacob gets tagged in, cannonballs into Sami in the corner, and proceeds to dance like the boogeyman. Solo gets tagged back in and gets blue thunder bombed. Sami is paralytic, but he's crawling. He gets the tag. It's Jay versus Tama again. Jay keeps the offense going, and both Usos start working on him. Jacob interrupts, but Jimmy takes himself out, getting rid of him. The 4 non-tags start scrapping outside. Tam hits Jay with possibly the best EDT I've seen in a minute. Crowd's still eating away. Jacob is now the legal man. Jay super kicks him to get away, tags Sami in, but all 3 Usos start dogpiling on Jacob before suicide diving into Solo and Tama on the outside. Jimmy splashes into Fatu and gets a near fall. However, seeing Jacob do it, I've realized Jacob should adapt to Tsunami too. He follows this up with a diving backflip off the top rope for a near fall. He gets tagged in as Fatu is double super kicked for a near fall, and Drew begins walking down to the ring. Jay returns to the ring to get Samoan dropped. Jacob tags in Solo, but Jacob goes to attack Jay as he gets out of harm's way. Jay continues to go for Fatu, not realizing that he's not the legal man, to get a Solo thumb in the arse to finish the match. SmackDown closes with the new bloodline standing tall. What did we think of the main event, folks?
Decent little match. Bit of fun. You know what you're getting out of these 6.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, definitely builds momentum for the new bloodline going into the Raw debut.
Yeah. Charlie, what do you think?
I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Again, you know what you're getting. You're getting a rake of super kicks. You're getting Jacob coming in and outshining every single person in that arena, as he did multiple times. I like that when he did the little dance, Michael Cole went, well, what the hell was that? And Corey Graves, it's whatever Jacob Fatu wants it to be because I'm terrified of him, which I love. The way the commentary sell Jacob is great. But yeah, it sets him up nicely. They were always going to get the win here ahead of Solo's match against Roman. Roman's probably going to beat Solo on that first Netflix Raw with some Rocky shenanigans, I assume. But yeah, good stuff. And a nice little end to the first 3 hours of SmackDown.
Yeah.
And the end of the YouTuber.
I was particularly I was particularly fond of the line on commentary where the new bloodline are making their entrance, and Cole is quoting Paul Heyman's promo earlier in the day about calling them animals, and Corey Graves reminds Cole, it's okay, you can say they have about 15 feet before they can hear you. But other than that, it was a fine match. It was a fun match. There was moments to which it kind of lingered on a little bit too bit, but that's what you can expect from the bloodline when you get 6 Samoans in the fucking ring, because every now and again they're kind of like, hey, you just did my move. No, you did my move. Fucking, oh, fuck. I thought I was meant to be doing this. Switch tactics. Fucking, yeah. I say they set up spots and they get confused on who's doing it every now and again. With that, close the show, folks, and that was SmackDown for this week. Overall, it was an all right show. I was the one who watched it fully live, so I get to give my opinion first. Jeff and David, they fucking watched some stupid Japanese indie fucking show. I'm sure you'll probably hear about on this channel soon enough, if not already. But yeah, boys, any thoughts about the overall episode of SmackDown before we go into the closing?
Best thing I can say is that it was 3 hours, and from stuff I'd seen, it seemed to go by pretty quickly.
It did. Yeah. It did, to be fair.
Yeah. I think it's great. Tiffany's our new world champion. How can you be mad at that? You know what I mean? And bring on Netflix. Bring on
Netflix. Yes.
As I named the Raw review, Revolution is no longer televised; it's streaming.
Okay. Right. Well, boys, we're going to close the show up. I've got about 15 minutes to get to my bus, so I'm going to have a bag in the meantime. But I'm going to try and do this closing with honor, with dignity, with respect, the same ways that you always do. Please follow us on all our socials. It's the Wrestless Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got plenty of original content on the way, even though it doesn't look like it. Jeff has a little series that he's going to be starting a retrospective on the career of Bray Wyatt. I'm sure he's got someone else. I can't remember who. And Kerwin is going to be doing a King of the Indies series starring my favorite wrestler, Jack Perry. We might be introducing some other forms of content in short form and long form. We've discussed the possibility of doing lists.
Because that's what every wrestler's channel needs, baby.
Yeah.
Top 10 list, baby.
God help you if that happens, because if it is, it'll be this cunt doing it. But with that, I want to wish you all a lovely day. I'm going to be receiving my payment of a rim job now for doing such a good job of hosting. Boys, any closing thoughts? Jeff, first.
Not much, lads. Thanks for watching. Slán Seagas Faha, Toga Bugge, Chocon Keys Agwiv, all the Irish stuff. Fair play to you, boys.
Yeah, Kerwin.
Thank you for showing up and doing such a wonderful job today, Seán. Just remember to love the wrestling you love, for wrestling should be fun. Seán, take us home.
All right, boys. I'm off to see my rim job.
Goodbye.